Now our commentator Willie Jackson has plenty to say about Māori representation on councils. Kia ora, Willie.
Kia ora, Morena.
So before we get into your own battle with Auckland Super City, what are your thoughts on Andrew Judd's call for a law change? Local councils.
Brilliant. You know, Andrew is advancing the kaupapa just fantastically well. This is very simple. In that area, in terms of New Plymouth, we need Māori representation on the council.
Just in New Plymouth or in all areas?
Well, everywhere actually, everywhere. But there, you only have to ask yourself, if you've got a real strong pro-Māori agenda, will you get on that council? The answer is no. Would Adrian Rurefe get on, who's the Māori Labour MP? Not a chance in hell. Chris Mackenzie, who was the Māori Party candidate, no chance, because they're too strongly pro-Māori. Tariana Turia, the Queen of the Māori Party, would she get in? Would the Pākehās down there vote her in? No chance whatsoever. So that's why this comes about. We need to ensure a Māori voice, and we can't get that because Pākehā always make sure that that Māori voice is shut out, and that's why what Andrew's doing is fantastic. What he's saying now is we need a law change because they've got to go back to the majority Pākehā population to get the green light on the Māori seat, who will all vote it out.
But it looks like central government don't want to be involved. He said that he's been kept at arm's length.
Yes, well that's a shame because when Labour was involved and Mitarirunui and them put it through in Bay of Plenty actually back in 2001 I think it was, because we just know that the Māori voice is shut out in councils everywhere. Yes, we do get some Māori up, but they can't really advance a Māori agenda. Some of them are able to sneak some things through, like, you know, Miripeka Raukawa Tate down there in Rotorua, and Trevor, your relation down there, Trevor Maxwell. You know, they're able to drop it in, but they can't put it at the forefront. Anyone with a pro-Māori kaupapa is shut out. That's why I'm looking forward to the debate.
This Andrew,
down there.
Which debate's that with?
That's on Monday week down there, and I'll be up against Winston Peters, who'll be supporting all the locals, so no problems down there on Monday the 8th.
You reckon you can take him down?
No, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah. Now, you're challenging the selection process for appointment on Auckland's Māori Statutory Board. What makes your argument so important to our people? It's
important because we're talking about urban Māori. Matawaka, as they call it in the council, being represented, and we represent 90% of the population in Auckland, yet we get 2 seats, and iwi, Mana Whenua, get 7 seats.
But they're Mana Whenua, so shouldn't they be allowed to have more seats than us?
No, not at all. Why should they? Well,
because they're Mana Whenua.
Well, Mana Whenua represent virtually, you know, such small groups, it's not funny. We're representing 90% of the population, we get 2 seats. And look, we can work with that, but here's the problem with Sharple's legislation. He asked the Mana Whenua to vote who our representatives should be. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yes, they can vote for their representatives, but let urban Māori or Matawaka vote for ours. It's pretty simple, and that's why we took the case. It's not just about Willie Jackson getting on a board. It's about urban Māori asserting their rights, their tino rangatiratanga. That's why we had to go to a Pākehā court, which Peter Sharples was all upset about, despite him, you know, working in the Pākehā system probably more than anybody.
And being urban Māori? Well,
we were shocked that Pete never supported us because, you know, he was put in by urban Māori constituents, so we had to go to the Pākehā court to get our rights, and every Māori cause has been won in Pākehā courts. So it's a bit rich for Sharples to criticise me about tino rangatiratanga when he was serving a Pākehā Prime Minister in a Pākehā Parliament, and he went to the top Pākehā law firm in the country, Mei Chen's firm, to look after the Hone Harawira debacle. So, you know, Pete needs to look at himself here. The statutory board is a good idea because it ensures a voice, but let urban Māori select urban Māori. We shouldn't be selected by the tribes.
So the High Court's made its decision. What happens now?
Well, we're going back and we're hoping that a bit of common sense happens now rather than them just say, oh, well, we'll just redo the process and we'll put this bloke we put up before. We know, we've already heard that for some reason they don't like myself and Tamahere, all right? So,
jeez, I wonder why.
So they don't want us both. No, we've heard, they won't admit it, but our insiders who have supported us said it's you two.
Your insiders?
Yeah, we have insiders.
It sounds a bit like
shall I name
camera
them? Yeah. So, no, but they're saying, you know, you two, you know, you both ain't going to get up. You know, we need some common sense here. We've got big urban Māori authorities representing our people. I want to work with Mana Whenua, want to work with them, and have done in the past.
Just very quickly, what's the difference between this issue that you're fighting for and and Andrew Judds?
It's very similar, but because it's about Māori representation, it's about us having a voice there. The statutory board is a good idea, but you just got to get the configuration right. You've got to, you know, it was put through by Pete, but you just can't. It just can't be all about the tribes. It's got to be about us as the people who are working here and advancing interests, and that's what we're saying to Pete, and we're saying to Mana Whenua, let's work together and let us select our representatives.
Okay, Willie, thank you very much for your time. Good night last night at the Sports Awards.
A great night, always a great night. Geez, there were so many people there, eh?
And the Wynyards come through.
The Whenua relations too, Marae. On the Mana Whenua side.
Of course they are. Tēnā koe, Willie, nā mihi kia koe.